Welcome to the Ohio AgNet podcast. I'm Matt Reese. I'm the editor for Ohio's Country Journal. I'm glad to be back on the podcast with Dusty Sonnenberg, who is always fantastic and on the ball. And today we are joined by Joe Boggs. He's with OSU Extension in Hamilton County and with the OSU Department of Entomology. He talks about bugs. He talks about plants, all the wonderful summary things we have to deal with out there, both in agriculture and in horticulture around the state of Ohio. So thanks for being with us, Joe.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Now, as it is summer, I just got back from a family vacation. I was gone last week, and one thing we did was whitewater rafting. We stayed my wife had a conference. We stayed at a resort on the Menominee River, which is the state line between Wisconsin and Joe's favorite state, Michigan, up there. Can you say that
word? There is a state up there? I'm not sure.
Well, we stayed on the Menominee River and went whitewater rafting, and I had a run-in with a rock they call the beetle because it's the size of a Volkswagen, right? Wow. And our raft careened over this hill, and it bounced me. Fortunately, it bounced me into the raft instead of out of the raft, but the raft behind us wasn't so fortunate. It bounced a young man right out of the raft, so we had to sort of hang out and wait. But we had a really nice vacation. It was nice to get away. And while I was gone, Joe, all kinds of bugs and plants were continuing to work their way through Ohio, and we're certainly seeing some challenges. What are some of the top couple things we're seeing here in Ohio in terms of concern with both weeds and insects?
Well, the top weed, as far as I'm concerned, is poison hemlock. And right now, it's already starting to decline, and that's a concern because, of course, it's too late to do anything about it. So poison hemlock is, as its name implies, highly toxic to both people and animals. And right now it's in the seed stage, so that's a big concern. The other concern that made the news a couple of weeks ago is that we have this non-native moth called box tree moth. Now, it really should be called boxwood moth because that's what it affects. But in its native territory in Asia and then later on in Europe, the common name box tree was given to it because boxwoods in those locations can be tree forms. They can be pretty big. But boxwood, I'm going to do it. Boxwood moth. Let's just declare that's the new name today.
I mean, you're important enough, Joe. You can kind of pull that off.
Now, wait a second. No, it's Dusty. It's not me. It's Dusty. Okay. And the guy that bounced out of the raft. Did they ever find him? That's the one thing.
We did. We reeled him in.
Okay.
We got him.
But those two problems are probably at the top of the list. And of course, before we came on, we were talking about this highly stimulating meeting with nematologists. And so we have a disease that has been, nematodes have been implicated, and it's called beech leaf disease. And of course, it affects American beech as well as European beech. So it's both a forestry issue and a landscape issue. And as I said, nematodes have been implicated. We don't know if they are the exact cause, but we do want people to report that problem, as well as I said, box tree moth.
So, Matt, you're going to have to stop going on vacation and start doing some reporting, scope out your landscape, and step up and do your part.
I know. I need to keep my eyes peeled, especially out in those Christmas trees.
There you go.
But as it was alluded to, Dusty spent some time elbow deep or knee deep in nematode discussions here this last week. And we've got some audio from that, right, Dusty?
We sure do. So the Society of Nematologists, a very esteemed group from all across the country, held their annual meeting in Columbus at The Ohio State University. I had a chance to attend on Wednesday some of their educational sessions, also caught up with some of the different folks. We're going to hear some discussions from George Bird. He is with Michigan State University, sort of the godfather of the society, and also very active with the Soybean Cyst Nematode Coalition. Also Kathy Lawrence from Auburn and Nathan Schrader from the University of Illinois over at Champaign-Urbana. Three nematologists with a lot of experience in the field, a lot of different aspects that they study with these microscopic worms, but good stuff. And as Joe alluded to, the beech topic was one that was on the agenda for discussion. So sort of your microscopic worms that make a big impact, even though we can't see them.
Well, and it's a group that's pretty fired up about them, right, Dusty?
They are. It is exciting to be around them. It just has a whole unique energy of its own.
So we are going to talk about all things that grow and creep and crawl here coming up in the rest of the podcast with Joe. And there'll be plenty more to check out with that nematode discussion as well. So be sure to tune in to the remainder of the podcast. That link will be available in the comments on this post and also available at ocj.com and in your digital Dale email. Thanks for tuning in to the Ohio AgNet Podcast.